There are moments in love that don't arrive with drama. No slammed doors, no raised voices, no final, devastating goodbye. They arrive quietly, softly, almost kindly. And that's why they hurt the most. I didn't realize when staying started hurting more than leaving. If you had asked me back then, I would have told you we were fine. Not perfect, but fine. We still woke up together. Still shared meals. Still knew each other's routines by heart. We looked like love from the outside. But love doesn't live on the outside. It lives in the spaces no one sees. And that's where things had already begun to break. At first, the pain was subtle. It was in the way conversations became shorter, but never ended. In the way silence grew longer, but never uncomfortable enough to mention. We didn't fight. That was the strange part. We just stopped reaching, stopped asking how the other one really felt, stopped noticing the small shifts in tone, the pauses between words. We still said, "I'm tired," instead of "I'm lonely." "I'm busy," instead of "I miss you." "I'm fine," instead of "I don't feel seen anymore." And because nothing was loud, I told myself nothing was wrong. Staying felt like loyalty, like patience, like maturity. I believed love meant endurance, that if you loved someone, you stayed even when it hurt, especially when it hurt. So I stayed. I stayed when my chest felt heavy for reasons I couldn't explain. I stayed when I started rehearsing conversations in my head instead of having them. I stayed when I began feeling alone in a room that used to feel like home. I stayed because leaving felt like giving up, and I didn't want to be someone who gave up on love. There's a specific kind of pain that comes from loving someone who is still there but not really with you. They sit beside you, but their mind is elsewhere. They listen, but don't hear. They care, but no longer in the way that reaches you. And the worst part? They're not doing anything wrong. They're not cruel. They're not unkind. They haven't changed into someone else. They've just drifted. And you're the only one swimming to keep up. I remember the moment I started shrinking. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't intentional. I just stopped asking for things. Stopped saying, "Can we talk?" Stopped saying, "I need you right now." Stopped saying, "This hurts." Not because I didn't feel it, but because I didn't want to be a burden. I convinced myself love meant being easy to love. So I made myself smaller, quieter, less needy. I edited my feelings before speaking, filtered my sadness so it would fit into a sentence that sounded acceptable. And every time I swallowed something I wanted to say, a small part of me disappeared. Leaving always felt like the harder option. It felt final. It felt selfish. It felt like admitting failure. Staying, on the other hand, felt noble. Staying meant trying. Staying meant hope. Staying meant believing things could still change. But what I didn't understand then was this. Staying can become a slow betrayal of yourself. And betrayal doesn't always look like lies or infidelity. Sometimes it looks like silence, compromise, endurance without joy. I used to think pain had to be intense to be valid, that if I wasn't crying every day, then maybe it wasn't that bad. That if we were still functioning, then maybe love was still alive. But pain doesn't need to scream to be real. Some pain whispers. Some pain settles in quietly and refuses to leave. Some pain becomes so familiar you stop noticing how much it weighs, until one day you do. There was a night I couldn't sleep. You were beside me, breathing steadily, already lost in dreams. And I was awake, staring at the ceiling, wondering how two people could be so close and so far apart at the same time. I realized something terrifying in that moment. If nothing changed, I could live like this for years. Years of quiet disappointment. Years of muted affection. Years of pretending this version of love was enough. And the thought didn't scare me because of the pain. It scared me because of how easily I could accept it. Love shouldn't feel like something you endure. It shouldn't feel like something you survive. And yet, there I was, surviving love. Measuring my happiness in small, temporary moments. Convincing myself that the absence of conflict meant the presence of peace. But peace isn't just quiet. Peace is feeling safe enough to speak, to ask, to be fully yourself. And I wasn't. I started imagining what leaving would look like. Not the logistics, not the explanations, just the feeling. The silence after the door closes, the weight of loss, the unfamiliar emptiness. And for the first time, that emptiness felt lighter than the one I was already carrying. That's when I understood. Staying wasn't protecting love anymore. It was protecting fear. Fear of starting over. Fear of regret. Fear of missing you. Fear of realizing that love alone isn't always enough. Because love without presence becomes longing. Love without effort becomes memory. Love without growth becomes a quiet ache. And I was tired of aching quietly. Leaving didn't mean I stopped loving you. That's the part people misunderstand. I didn't leave because the love disappeared. I left because love, on its own, wasn't enough to keep me whole. I left because staying required me to abandon parts of myself I wasn't willing to lose. I left because I finally understood that choosing myself wasn't the same as choosing against you. The last day wasn't dramatic either. No shouting, no tears falling at the right moment, just a calm sadness that felt heavier than any argument could have been. We hugged, longer than usual, and in that hug, I felt everything we used to be and everything we no longer were. It hurt. But it was a clean kind of hurt, the kind that comes from honesty. After leaving, the pain didn't disappear. It changed. It became sharp instead of dull, brief instead of constant. There were nights I missed you deeply. Mornings I reached for a phone I no longer needed to check. But there was also something new. Relief. Not happiness. Not freedom. Just relief. The kind that comes when you stop lying to yourself. I learned that staying is not always brave. Sometimes leaving is the bravest thing you can do. Not because it's easier, but because it's honest. Because it acknowledges a truth that staying keeps hidden. That love should not cost you yourself. If you're listening to this and wondering whether staying is hurting you more than leaving might, ask yourself this. Are you still growing? Are you still heard? Are you still choosing each other? Or just choosing familiarity? Love is not proven by how much pain you tolerate. It's proven by how safe you feel to be real. I don't regret loving you, not for a second. What we had mattered. What we shared was real. But I also don't regret leaving, because sometimes the most loving thing you can do is walk away before you lose yourself completely. And maybe that's the quiet truth no one tells you. Not all endings are failures. Some are mercy, for both hearts involved. Especially when staying hurts more than leaving.